Hi, this is Mrs. Hall, and today I am going to talk about how to make the transfer of the portrait or the profile silhouette of your person and get it accurately onto the 9 by 12 paper. So I have the requirements for the collage project pulled up, and it says create a silhouette collage of yourself, family member, or close friend. So I've selected my daughter for mine. The portrait silhouette should be realistic and in profile view. So that is what we are going to do today. I'm going to switch over to my document camera. I have my printout of my daughter. It's as big as I could get it on the page. I also have a 9 by 12 sheet of paper. If you're at home and you don't have a 9 by 12, you can use a 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. The other challenging thing could be is if you're at home and you're a virtual student and you do not have a printer to print out the portrait, you may need to attempt to draw it. And if you are attempting to draw it, it can be a little challenging, but I suggest just doing the best that you can. So I'm going to show you first how I want it done in class or if you have a printer. And then if you don't, I'm going to show you how to try to draw it so that you can get a nice outline. So here's an example of my finished outline. I took a Sharpie and I went directly around the contour of my daughter's face. So I can show it on this one. I'll just start it. I'll take this Sharpie, and I know my daughter has a lot of loose hairs here, but I'm just going to go kind of about the edge of her head, and I can add in a little bit of those loose hairs if I want to, but I don't have to. You're not really looking for like really detailed specific things. You just want to get the basic outline of the profile. Now at the very bottom, I am just going to continue it to the edge of the page so that it kind of looks correct when I go to my other paper. I'm going to continue around her head here, around her ponytail. She has a lot of little stray hairs, so I'm just going to get like a generic outline here around her pony. And then to the edge of the page. And then she does have this little negative space part in her pony, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So whenever I flip it over, you can see that there is a silhouette outline of my daughter. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this outline on that paper, and we're going to do that with a graphite transfer. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to color pretty dark all over that Sharpie line on the back of the paper. And what I'm going to do is when I flip it over, I'll press down on the line where I did the Sharpie, and this pencil that I'm putting on the back is going to press in to the 9 by 12 or the 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, you'll skip this step if you don't have a printer at your house, or if you're virtual and you just don't have the resources to do this. And I will show you how to attempt to sketch a profile. All right, so I am done scribbling all over the back. If you don't have enough pencil on there, it's not going to transfer. So I just want you to be aware of that. So I'll take my 9 inch by 12 inch paper. I'm going to place this at the bottom because this is smaller than the paper. This is printer paper. It's 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to place it at the bottom, and I'm going to take my pencil, and if it's dull, I can get a different pencil or I can sharpen it. And I have to be careful not to move this. Okay, so use your other hand to really press down and steady this. I've tried taping it before, but the problem with tape is it tends to rip the paper, and I don't want it to rip the paper. So try to keep it as still as possible. Taping is a possibility. You could also set something on it to keep it there. Paper clips help sometimes, but again, just do the best you can with keeping it still and being accurate and tracing over these lines. Okay, so I'm going to see how it looks. All right, so it did transfer. You can see it did here. Anywhere that it didn't, you can kind of just take and darken this line so that you know where the outline is. Some of them may look a little funny, and that's okay. All right. So I'm going to darken this a little bit so you can see it. Oh, I forgot the middle part of my daughter's ponytail. I might be able to just draw it in. Let's see. Yeah, it's just like a little. So it's about right here. It's her ponytail. Okay, so this is an example of my finished silhouette, and then I would start, if I have my printer paper and I did it and I'm done, you would go to the next video. But let's say that I do not have a printer at my house and I am looking off of the computer screen. It is possible to use printer paper and draw what you see. So usually when I do something like this, I'll start, let's say with the top of the head, and then I'll get in the facial features. Now, it's a little bit more difficult drawing from observation, and I really have to just go one section at a time and look at and see about what my daughter's face looks like. Now, I'm already seeing with this, I need to get in the basic shape of her head. So here's like I know it's going to need to have some changes. Keep that in mind. I'm going to get the basic shape of her body. Okay, so we've got her chin. So notice I wasn't doing too many details at first. Okay, and then I see that she has like a pony. So I'm going to add in her pony just real loosely. And then I'll do a little bit more details. I see like her eyelashes going in here. And then her mouth kind of goes down and over. She doesn't have as much of a pointy chin. And then her head is not quite as tall. It's a little flatter. Okay, so I realize that your picture is going to be less accurate if you choose to do it this way. But that's okay, because sometimes we just don't have the resources to do everything, and that's okay. So you're going to do as best as you can, drawing an outline of the person that you chose if, for whatever reason, you do not have access to a printer. And that is totally fine. It may look a little weird, but we'll do the best that we can. If you have additional questions, please email me at hallkr@foxc6.org. Thanks.